Full story, biography, powers, and abilities of Saul Goodman, the master of schemes and silver-tongued survivor. Saul Goodman, born James Morgan McGill, is one of the most fascinating and cunning characters in television history. Portrayed by Bob Odenkirk, he is the slippery, fast-talking lawyer from Breaking Bad and the star of the acclaimed prequel series Better Call Saul. Known for his colorful personality, shady clients, and sharp legal mind, Saul Goodman is much more than a comic relief character. He is a tragic figure whose story is both darkly humorous and deeply human. Biography and Origins. James Jimmy McGill grew up in Cicero, Illinois, alongside his older brother, Chuck McGill, a respected and brilliant attorney. Unlike Chuck, Jimmy was rebellious and often in trouble, earning the nickname Slippin Jimmy for his scams and petty crimes. Despite his rough beginnings, Jimmy desperately wanted to gain respect, especially from Chuck. He worked his way up from the mailroom at Chuck's prestigious law firm, Hamlin and McGill, HHM, while secretly studying law through a correspondence course from the University of American Samoa. Eventually, Jimmy passed the bar exam and became a licensed attorney. However, despite his qualifications, he struggled to gain respect in the legal community due to his checkered past and unorthodox methods. Better Call Saul, The Journey of Jimmy McGill. Better Call Saul follows Jimmy's transformation from a struggling lawyer to the morally flexible criminal attorney Saul Goodman. Early legal career. Jimmy starts by handling small cases, hustling for clients with cheap advertisements and flashy schemes. He shows brilliance in legal loopholes but often crosses ethical lines. Despite his good intentions, his shortcuts and schemes frequently backfire. Relationship with Chuck McGill. Jimmy's relationship with Chuck is at the heart of his downfall. Chuck, who suffers from psychosomatic electromagnetic hypersensitivity, despises Jimmy's methods and tries to sabotage his career at every turn. Chuck's constant rejection fuels Jimmy's bitterness and accelerates his descent into unethical behavior. Their rivalry reaches its peak when Jimmy exposes Chuck's mental instability in court, leading to Chuck's public humiliation and eventual death by suicide, something that leaves Jimmy emotionally shattered but also pushes him deeper into his Saul Goodman persona. Kim Wexler and the Breaking Point. Throughout the series, Jimmy has a complicated romantic and professional relationship with Kim Wexler, a brilliant attorney who is both his closest ally and moral compass. As the series progresses, Kim herself becomes entangled in Jimmy's schemes, revealing her own dark side. Together, they pull off high-stakes cons, most notably against Howard Hamlin and HHM. However, their actions have devastating consequences, leading to the deaths of innocent people and ultimately destroying their relationship. Becoming Saul Goodman. By the later seasons of Better Call Saul, Jimmy fully embraces the Saul Goodman identity, a flashy, immoral criminal lawyer who helps drug dealers, scammers, and other criminals evade justice. Saul sets up his gaudy law office with the iconic Better Call Saul ads, cementing his place in Albuquerque's criminal underworld. Breaking Bad, The Reign of Saul Goodman. In Breaking Bad, Saul Goodman serves as the legal fixer for Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. He provides legal cover, money laundering schemes, and even connections to criminals like Gus Fring and the mysterious cleaner Ed Galbraith. Though Saul plays things for laughs, his resourcefulness proves crucial in helping Walt's empire grow. However, as Walt's empire collapses, Saul finds himself in over his head. Final fate, Gene Takavik. After fleeing Albuquerque, Saul uses Ed's services to disappear and takes on a new identity as Gene Takavik, managing a Cinnabon in Omaha, Nebraska. In Better Call Saul's black and white flash-forward sequences, Gene lives a dull, paranoid existence haunted by his past and always looking over his shoulder. Eventually, Gene can't resist returning to his old ways, pulling off scams once again. However, his greed and arrogance finally catch up with him, leading to his arrest. In the series finale, Jimmy McGill confesses to his crimes in court, fully reclaiming his identity as Jimmy instead of Saul. He takes responsibility for his actions, earning a lengthy prison sentence but finding a sense of peace and redemption. Personality. Saul Goodman, or Jimmy McGill, is a master manipulator, fast talker, and expert con artist. He's charming, funny, and endlessly resourceful. He can talk his way out of almost any situation and is a natural salesman. Though he often shows flashes of kindness and vulnerability, his deep-seated insecurity, greed, and addiction to schemes push him toward darker choices. Despite everything, Saul is deeply human. He craves respect and love but is often his own worst enemy, sabotaging himself repeatedly. Powers and abilities. Though he has no superpowers, Saul Goodman possesses remarkable skills that make him a dangerous figure in his world. Legal mastermind. Saul knows the law inside and out, often using obscure legal loopholes and courtroom tactics to defend clients others wouldn't touch. Silver-tongued persuasion. His greatest weapon is his voice. Saul can talk almost anyone into anything, whether it's a plea deal, scam, or elaborate con. Expert con artist. Jimmy's background as Slippin Jimmy makes him an expert in scams, cons, and street hustles, allowing him to manipulate situations to his advantage. Strategic planning. Saul excels at long-term schemes, carefully setting traps and pulling strings behind the scenes. Money laundering expertise. He's highly skilled in creating money laundering operations through businesses like car washes or nail salons. Network of criminal contacts. Saul has deep connections with criminals, including private investigators, money launderers, and assassins. Emotional intelligence. He has a keen ability to read people, using their fears, desires, and weaknesses to manipulate them. Survivor instinct. Above all else, Saul is a survivor. He always finds a way to land on his feet, even in the face of death or prison. Weaknesses. Despite his brilliance, Saul is driven by greed and ego. His hunger for money and respect often leads him to take unnecessary risks. Self-destruction. He frequently undermines his own success by giving in to his worst impulses. Emotional vulnerability. His deep need for approval, especially from Chuck and Kim, leaves him open to emotional collapse. Legacy and impact. Saul Goodman is now considered one of the greatest TV characters ever created. From comic relief in Breaking Bad to the tragic anti-hero in Better Call Saul, his character arc is celebrated for its depth, nuance, and realism. Bob Odenkirk's masterful performance brought Saul to life, making him a household name and forever changing the landscape of television anti-heroes. Saul Goodman represents both the heights of charm and the depths of moral compromise, showing that even the slickest survivor can't escape the consequences forever. Saul Goodman's story is a gripping reminder that charm, wit, and intelligence can take you far, but they can also lead to your downfall. He is more than a criminal lawyer. He is a mirror of human weakness, a man who chased money and power, only to discover that the cost was his very soul. From Slippin Jimmy to Heisenberg's lawyer to Gene Takavik, his story proves one thing: no matter how clever you are, you can't outrun who you really are. Saul Goodman isn't just a lawyer, you better call him what he truly is, a legend. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more legendary character stories.